Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a installment of ED Internal Battles where we have ED Mexicanan and EhecEqui, who is not a member but frequents our channel. I'm here casting on Shakura's Plateau with the gorgeous, magnificent and otherwise fantastic...
What, is that my cue?
Yeah, that's...
Sorry, my dog's just come in and he's like... So I'm like, hello, have some attention. And then you're like, why aren't you talking?
Wow. Alright, we're cancelling the match, we're starting fresh.
Come on, Arch. What do you think? What do you think of the game, Arch? What, they're not doing anything? That's because it's just started.
Alright. Up here in the top left. Oh god. Oh, you've made me laugh so hard I forgot left from right. Up here in the top right positions we have Mexicanan spawning as the Protoss. And down here in the bottom left we have EhecEqui, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, spawning in the bottom left positions. These players are both Platinum League, so what do you think? How do you think this is going to roll out?
I predict Broodlords and Carriers.
So you predict a speed tech to Broodlords and Carriers?
Yes. I think the Zerg's probably going to go 3 base, big rush, and the Protoss will go Forge fast.
Well, as we can see, a Forge fast is probably going to come down. Now, as we know, Carriers is a direct counter to Broodlords, since Broodlords cannot attack the air. So do you think he might go with a Broodlord Corruptor composition to negate this?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, good. It's always a privilege having you on my casting team.
Yup.
Yup.
And don't you know it?
So we see a spawning pool coming out at 14 for EhecEqui, who I from now on be calling Ehec because it's easier.
Why not just call him Knight of Knee? Because he goes Ek, as in like Eki, Patang as a boing.
So we shall be calling him Ni. Okay, we have Ni. We have Ni, the purple Protoss, which is a beautiful colour for our Protoss.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. For our Zerg, sorry. Look at that sneaky drone in the back, ready to scout on more. Now this is the interesting part, whether we'll see a Nexus first or a cannon first. And it definitely does appear to be the Nexus first. If our Protoss ally is a bit uncareful, he can lose to a lot of speedlings coming in, applying pressure. But it doesn't look like that's going to come out from EhecEqui or Ni.
Eki will do.
So essentially, Ni has gone for a 14 gas, 14 pool into expand. Pretty nice standard against Protoss, allows you to be quite safe. What do you read from this game so far? It's been very, I wouldn't say boring, but
standard opening from both, I'd say.
Very standard. I think the important part comes when we find out if Mexicanan can scout thirds, and if Ehec will take his third fast or just go for some sort of 2 base pressure before Mexicanan can have any forces.
Well, that's it. I mean, one main thing that Zerg like to do is nice rushes of big units, or cheap units like Zerglings.
Then indeed, and we see him just claiming map control now of both towers, got an Overlord to check for a 4th when it goes down, and finally, oh, a second cannon coming down for Mexicanan, probably not feeling overly secure with his 1. Keeping in mind this will delay all his other structures, with a photon cannon costing 150 minerals. That's the same as a gateway. As of yet we've seen him only just getting gas, so his gateway tech will be a bit delayed with his chrono boosts not being used. Both players pretty even on their economy though, as you can see. Don't you just love these passive early games, trolling Sauce?
Oh yeah.
They
I
are.
feel as if I'm a major part of this game already. Brooks Warren just finishing up now for I can't even remember his name. That guy.
Ehec.
Yeah.
And we see his third coming up as well.
Yeah. Now, is that the best place to be putting it?
I believe
Would it not have
so.
been better to put it just in front of the Zelnaga or just near the Zelnaga?
Well, by the Zelnaga has a very narrow choke point that if the Protoss can get some Colossus up on the ramp and then some Stalkers down at the choke point, it can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So I feel that over here is better. You can just start to split the map in half as opposed to having one bit sticking out quite vulnerable.
Yeah.
This space here is like the penis. You can have it, but you don't want it to be sticking out when there's dogs running around trying to bite it, or Protoss with Psyblades. so generally, I would say this is the poor choice. You want it up here where it's a bit more defended.
I must say, I love your comparisons of stuff.
Yes, my comparisons are always beautiful. And we see up here coming out a Stargate and 3 other gateways. This looks like a 4-gate with a Stargate. Pretty weird considering. Probably a few Void Rays. Might be going for mass carriers. Did you message these people and ask them to go carriers and broodlords?
No.
No, okay. Just checking. We see only one guy in gas for Ehec on his main base to the right. Could be a slip up. Wondering if he'll notice that at any point. And the probe scout coming up for Mexicanan, checking for a third down at the dick. And sticking a pylon down, the sneaky git. So what he's probably going to do is use his Stargate tech to get vision up here, then warp units in behind the defensive line.
Yeah. Or even an observer.
Well, he lacks the robo for an observer at the minute. He's got the Void Ray though, which can do it.
Yeah. And another Void Ray starting off.
This looks like it's going to be nicely timed with +1 coming in though.
Yeah. +1 range just about to finish by the time
there goes the push. Although as far as I'm aware, Mexicanan has no idea about that third yet. Which could put him at a disadvantage for not scouting it.
Knows about the Void Ray.
A few queens, well positioned and used, could take that down, but I think it's this sneak attack at the back that's going to cause problems. And there it goes, that queen will not last very long there. This could be the cause for GG now. I wouldn't like to call it too early, but with a lack of aerial defense.
Yeah.
And this push coming in at the front as well. I'm not sure what to make of this. Spore crawlers have come up, but they're not entirely useful now. And there it just goes in again with...
that Void Ray can pretty much just stay there and you can keep warping the units in on top of the ridge.
I would love to see... There's an infestation pit, but no research being done. And a Hydralisk den could just work him wonders at the minute, but he's just so far behind due to this harass. Roaches can't do anything to help him. Beyond take out the zealots, of course, but the Void Rays will still be there.
Yep.
Here comes a third one across the map for our scummy Protoss friend.
Of course, now that one can just go overload sniping.
Yeah. What does our production tell us? There's an infester coming out for Ehec. Doubt one of them could take down 3 of these cheese rays. He's pushing out with quite a few roaches. And there it goes, the Hydralisk den coming up for him. With no defences in his base, these roaches could actually cause a lot of damage and force the pullback of those Void Rays, if they're controlled properly. Nice, they get in there. It's putting down one unit. Oh, and the forced pull off of the drones. Oh, just
wow.
causing a lot of damage.
Turned.
Indeed they have. Oh, and that's 300 gas that could not have been afforded to be lost. This is a bit of a panic moment, but Hydras will be coming out back of the main base for...
Yep.
Yep, there we go. And the economy has taken a massive hit. Let's look at the workers killed. 20 down for our EhecEqui, who's done a lot of damage with this push. Timed it beautifully. And there's the 3 Void Rays and some Rope and some Zealots. Looks like they'll just be jumping straight back into his main base.
Yeah.
What an asshole you are, Mexicanan. He's actually a lovely Swedish guy, as far as Swedes can go. Still hanging around the dick, probably thinking, huh, no third base yet.
The typical Swede thing to do.
Yeah. And those Hydras get a free Zealot. Very nice. So Mexican is alerted to the Hydras now and instantly just gets Zealot charge. It's the best thing he could have done right there.
Yeah.
These Hydras will just melt under this attack though. One fungal used, not entirely effective.
Archon's just dropping like, well, flies.
Yep. There we go, that pretty much cleaned up a lot better than I expected. Those +1 Hydralisks doing a lot of DPS. But here we just have these Void Rays sitting in his base.
Yep. And they could be doing something useful.
Like killing that Roach Warren. Do we have a second Roach Warren on the field? No. This is just going to make those Chargelets exceptionally powerful, with no roaches to soak up damage. Oh, and he doesn't snipe a Void Ray. Mexicanan has re-established his lead though with this third base. The units tab just shows him ahead in probe count. Generally, EhecEqui is just having a lot of problems. What do you think would be the best solution for EhecEqui at the minute to come back into this game?
Well, he is trying to establish his third back. Good move. But obviously Mexican now going for his fourth.
And there we see the Chargelets coming into action.
Roach Warren half done, half rebuilt rather.
The units lost tabs show that things have been very equal between these pair. And as I say that, they become less equal. That is fine. EhecEqui is on the better economy, pushing down now with these Chargelets. Taking out Queen, probably just going to... Oh, and he loses a lot of stuff here. That was not a good engagement despite taking out the Queen. And as they say, when behind Dark Shrine, but apparently when ahead Dark Shrine as well. Getting his +2 attack and Storm. Storm, as we know, is a highly effective skill to be used against all Hydralisks.
Or Zerg in general.
That indeed.
Is it one Storm kills one Hydra?
Can't
remember. I'm
I
pretty
believe
sure Luke's done that to me a few times.
Storm does 80 damage and Hydras have 80 health, so could potentially be a 1-for-1 trade. Unless you move your Hydras, of course.
Yeah.
So now we're on 3 established bases for each player, with the drone count heading back up for our Zerg, but with 79 probes, Mexicanan can build whatever he feels like at the minute. 82 probes. Probably building a few too many, actually. 83.
Fire finally coming up for EHEC.
It is a good move to go Spire. I'm not sure if the right one at the minute. He should probably start trying to retake his main base, since there's been nothing in there for a while. Just run a Zergling up to look around would be a wise choice. And we see Mexicanan pushing out. Could this be the move that terminates our beautiful EHEC?
Well, it could be.
You're not as good at this commentating thing as I expected, Mr. InspectoSauce.
No.
And there we see him pushing up into his main base, thinking, there's not
Finally
actually anything up here. He'll probably watch the replay and kick himself.
The question might be, is it too little too late?
Potentially.
Could have taken it earlier. Fleet Bacon. And 12 Corruptors coming out now.
What I see here though, 97 probes. Potentially too many, one might wonder.
Well, possibly, but think of the income. I mean, it is sat nicely on 4,000 minerals, nearly 2,000 gas.
And those... That was very painful to see.
Everything that EHEC's got's just disappearing.
Well, he's taking out those void rays, but corruptors aren't known for their capacity to kill roaches.
Mama ship!
Mama ship! Your mama ship's so dumb.
22 roaches in production. Is it going to be enough?
These are 2-2 chargelets against 1-1. No, these are 2-0 chargelets against 1-1 roaches. With some hydras mixed in. Yeah, this is going to be cleaned up pretty easily. And that poor High Templar's there thinking, oh, why me?
Whatever will I do?
But eventually this was cleaned up. I predict some sort of Archon toilet to be coming out of Mexicanan.
Possibly. Does still have the Dark Shrine. I haven't seen him use it yet.
He hasn't built any DTs. Probably on account of the fact that his opponent had spores, which makes me question his choice to build it in the first place. There's a couple of hydras just sitting under all of these overlords.
The overlords having a nice meeting around the spire there.
I know, that's what I was just thinking. Just gossiping over some tea and cakes, tea and crumpets. They're British overlords.
No point crying over spilt creep.
Woo! Oh, you made a funny, boy. You made a funny.
Hell yeah.
Right now,
drones now in production.
Right now, this is looking very scary.
Yeah.
This mothership, these Archons.
This could be game. This one push could be game.
I mean, just look at the units counts. 112 workers to 54. That is a lot of workers. 102.
Now the corruptor count might be in the favour of Ek.
The 10 corruptors could.
If he can get a good position on the
Holy oversaturation, Batman!
It's like a pro party.
Pro party! Oh my lord.
All Mexicanans probes are invited.
Alright.
Right, this is going to be one hell of a...
Oh, and there's no neuroparasite researched.
And there's also no detection. Oh dear.
Right, so he sees this.
See, now the corruptors could sweep in there, take the mothership out, no problems.
and that they're targeting it.
Yeah, and
Forces it to pull back.
Oh,
Bam!
oh, hey,
Nice!
there it goes.
Very nice. And we have these infestors here laying down some fungals. This army composition is not that brilliant without its mama ship.
No.
Yo, mama ship's so dead!
But it's going to be a close one.
Oh, and here come the units turn around.
Zealots.
Oh, and that's a lot of zealots
More
coming
zealots.
in. Oh, this is definitely too many to handle. The question is, which base will they take? They're heading up top. Protoss equal retardet. GG.